Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. It is Wednesday, October the 15th, and I'm going to jump right into it. So I want to touch on a few things. I'm going to start by plugging tonight's debates for Pittsfield City Council and Pittsfield School Committee. So tonight at BCC, starting at 6 p.m., you have our Ward 2 candidates, both of them challengers this year. There's no incumbent, and that would be Cam Cunningham and Corey Walker. So you can check out that debate. And then following that is the Ward 5 incumbent, Patrick Cavey, and challenger for Ward 5, Michael Grady. So check out that debate. These are really important. And after that, you have a 90-minute debate with all the candidates for the Pittsfield School Committee. So again, that starts tonight, Wednesday, October the 15th, 6 p.m. at the Bolin Theater at BCC. Tomorrow, Thursday, October the 16th, you have Ward 6 debate and Ward 7 debate. So Ward 6 would be the incumbent, Dina Lampiazzi, and her challenger this year is Walter Powell. And then the Ward 7 debate, where there's no incumbent, both challengers, but you have Tony Mafuccio, who is the former Ward 7 city councilor, and Kathy Moody. And then following that is a 90-minute debate with the candidates for Pittsfield City Council at large. So definitely check those out. These are really important. Knowing your candidates, knowing what's going on is crucial. And for the wards that are being challenged, or you have more than one person, because you have some that are uncontested this year. But for those wards, pay attention. Know the difference between the candidates. Make sure you're registered to vote. Tuesday, November the 4th, vote, but get as much information on these candidates as you can. And I don't mind plugging the other outlets. I know you'll never hear It's Pittsfield Tonight on any of the other ones, and that's fine. This isn't about me. So the Eagle does candidate highlights. Hopefully they don't do endorsements like they always do. I always thought that was so unfair. But the Eagle does do candidate highlights. Of course, iBerkshires is sponsoring this debate with PCTV. And so they'll, I'm sure, have some articles out the following days. And PCTV, and then, of course, Live 95.9 with Slater and Marjo. They do have candidates on as well. So check all that out. The more information out there, the better, really. And, of course, check out It's Pittsfield Tonight. I've done quite a few, and there's more coming. If you are running for office this year and you want to be featured on It's Pittsfield Tonight, DM the page, and I'll set something up with you. I don't reach out and send invites and do all that. I'm a one-person show, so it's very difficult for me to do that, to try to schedule everybody in and wait for people to reply. So if you want to be featured, you're more than welcome. Just message the page, and I will get back to you. If not that day, it might take me a day or two. I will get back to you, and we'll set something up. Friday, October the 17th, at the Ralph Froyo Senior Center on North Street, there's a candidate meet and greet. There's going to be quite a few of them there. It's 10 a.m. this coming Friday, October 17th. Go. This is your chance. If you can go. It's your chance to speak to the candidates, ask them questions in person, address some concerns, whatever it is. But it's the more information, the better. And it's your chance to personally interact with them and get some answers to some questions you have on where they stand on issues that are affecting you. Because people have to remember, as much as everyone pays attention to national politics, and that's important, your local politics directly and immediately affect your life. That city council is who's voting on that budget. And when your taxes go up, or your water and sewer bills, when we're talking about roads, when we're talking about the condition of North Street and all that, this is your chance to be involved. If you don't vote, you can't complain. I know a lot of people, for some reason, have given up on voting. I find that incredibly sad, because it is important. How do you think those councilors that we have now got on that city council? They were voted in. Vote. These elections, we'll call them midterms, because the mayor is not on the ballot. They're so important, and they get such a low voter turnout. Many people this year are already telling me, we won't even hit 17 or 18% of our registered voters. Please, let's prove them wrong. Make sure you're registered and take the time to go vote. It only takes a few minutes out of your day, and it is so important. We have a lot of challengers this year, especially with the school committee. Also, the school committee, as people know, the Pittsfield Public Schools has been in the media for well over a year, heavily, with a lot of things that have happened, and there's still a lot on the table. We're talking about restructuring, consolidating schools, all the issues affecting our schools, why the choice out rate is so high, why we're having such a difficult time with teacher retention and staff retention. You know, you have our local AFT 1305, which represents our cafeteria workers, our school bus drivers, our paraprofessionals, our janitorial staff, our custodial staff. Somebody said, you can't say janitor. I said, why can't I say janitor? It's custodian. Then somebody else told me they were building maintenance. And then somebody else said one that I never heard before. Said, well, how can you call them that? They're building environmental hygienist or something. I didn't think janitorial or janitor was a derogatory statement. So if that offended anyone, I'm sorry. That was not my intention, because I support the local union that represents them and what they're fighting for. A lot of the things they're fighting for as a fair contract, and I 100% support them. These people are crucial to our public school system. But all this, you can have a say in by voting in this election. So make sure you do, and make sure you pay attention and get to know your candidates. I have to touch real briefly on last night's city council meeting. I have to, because the one thing that really upset me, there wasn't a lot being discussed and the council chambers were pretty much empty. But Walmart had an engineer there that was representing them, and they're talking about redoing the parking lot at Walmart and changing some things, because people who do phone-in orders and they come to pick their stuff up, they're changing the layout, how that will be parking. They're going to try to improve the parking and paving and restriping and all those things. And when it got to the council, the one that stuck out to me the most was when Councilor Lampiazzi, our Ward 6 city councilor, spoke up and trashed Walmart. I mean, just trashed them. She said, I don't go there. The experience is horrible. The parking lot is bumpy and there's holes. And I'm thinking, have you driven on East Street? Have you driven on some of the roads in Pittsfield in Ward 6 that you represent? But you're going to trash Walmart. And she made it very personal. She trashed them as a business. And I thought, what is she doing? Talk about entitlement. Does she not know the amount of people that rely on that store, not just for price, but people who don't have a brand new Mercedes or a brand new Volvo to jump into and go anywhere they want with expendable income? People that go there, sometimes that take a bus or a taxi, and everything that they need is there. And I'm not some huge proponent of big box chain stores. You know, I think that monopoly on the market, that's a whole different conversation. What we've done over the years with corporations in this country, taking advantage of cheap labor in other countries to make more profit and pump out these products at a cost where you killed the ma and pa stores, that you killed the independent stores, a lot of them doing that. But that's a different conversation. That's neither here nor there, because Walmart employs a lot of local people. They pay a lot into our tax base. And for people that maybe have transportation issues, they take a cab there or a bus there, or they carpool with friends, everything is there for them. They go there because of the price, and it's easier. You have a pharmacy, you have an optometrist, you have clothing, electronics, you have food, you have all these things. And to hear her trashing them as a business was insane to me. Like, at times I listen to some of these counselors and I think, are they that disconnected from reality? Do they not understand the plight of the average resident? It killed me to hear that. So it ended up passing for them redoing the parking lot, and it passed 9-2 with Councilor Lampiazzi against and Councilor Noto against. Even though, for whatever reason, our Ward 1 city councilor spoke up out of nowhere and tried to correct the council president and say it's 8-3. Which it absolutely wasn't. I thought that was so out of line, too. Some of the professionalism is It's lacking. It really is. But I was shocked at how that went, and disparaging the company as a whole like that was basically the way I took it, is you're making fun of people who shop there and you're making fun of people who work there. I didn't get that. I really didn't. But it did pass, and they are going to redo the parking lot, and hopefully it will improve. I've heard from other people, many times parking there is horrible. I have to go there and it's horrible. I get it. They're a private business that leases that property, but I get it. But I don't think in any case that the city council is a place for these councilors to push their own personal agenda or their own personal views. I look at them as a union steward to their constituents in their ward, or if they're at large throughout the city. They are there to represent you. They are your voice in these issues. And I think a lot of them forget that. They think they are there better than everyone to push their own agenda. And there's some of them that just come across that way. And if it's not intended to be that way, they should rethink about how they address some of these things. So I had to mention that. But please pay attention, get involved, pay attention this election. Vote Tuesday, November the 4th. Check out all the candidates on It's Pittsfield Tonight. Check them out on the other outlets, Live 95.9, iBerkshires, PCTV, the Berkshire Eagle. Get as much information as you can. The more, the better. So, and I will be at those debates tonight, and I hope to see some of you there. I'll definitely be trying to do some exit interviews after the debate with some of the candidates and see what they thought about it, and so on. And there's a bunch of stuff coming up. I have some special guests coming on very soon, a bunch of business promos that I'm really excited about. I love featuring and promoting our local businesses. That's a huge part of what this outlet is, because we need to be thankful for growth in our community. We need to be thankful to the businesses that contribute, paying the second highest tax rate in the state. We need to be thankful that they are here, and not just to support them as people, but these are great businesses. We have a lot of great businesses that offer a lot of unique and really cool products and services that are unique to us. And we need to support them, because these are the businesses that support us. These are the businesses that give to our local charities and our local nonprofits, to all sorts of different things in the community, sports teams, endless amount of things. And that's community. That's what it's all about. So again, pay attention to this year's election, and I'll have all this cool stuff coming up mixed in with, a lot of the political stuff, which will end after November 4th. Of course, these type of videos I'll always do. I've got a big mouth and I can't help it. I try to be as fair as possible. There's some people who will say I don't, but I do. I try to be as fair as possible, but I have an opinion. So remember, this is my opinion. Don't just take my word for it. Go back and watch these meetings and watch yourself. They're all on PCTV's Facebook page. You can check them out there. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll catch you all on the next day.